The Albert Dam was a critical source of drinking water for the coastal city of Port Sudan, where the military government is based. Its destruction leaves the city and surrounding areas vulnerable to severe water shortages, adding another layer of hardship to a population already reeling from 16 months of civil war. In addition to the human toll, the floods have caused significant infrastructure damage. A major fiber optic cable was damaged by the heavy rainfall, leading to a communication blackout in many parts of the country for the second consecutive day, according to news sources. The Sudanese Air Force is working to rescue people who sought refuge in the mountains, but efforts have been hampered by the challenging conditions. Army Chief Abdul Fattah al-Burhan visited the flood-affected areas, and in a Facebook post, the military urged all federal and state agencies to utilize all possibilities to help citizens in these regions and provide support and assistance to them. And finally, Pavel Durov, the Russian-born founder of messaging app Telegram, was arrested in France as part of an ongoing judicial investigation, and there was no political motive, French President Emmanuel Macron said on Monday. Macron's statement on X amounted to the first official confirmation of Durov's arrest, nearly 2 days since he was detained at Le Bourget airport outside Paris, shortly after landing on the private jet from Azerbaijan. A police spokesman told news sources their investigation by the National Cybercrime and Fraud Offices for failing to cooperate over cyber and financial crimes on Telegram, a messaging app and social media. He is still in custody, the spokesman said. Durov, a 39-year-old billionaire cast as Russia's Mark Zuckerberg, has dual French and United Arab Emirates citizenship. Estimated by Forbes to have a fortune of $15.5 billion, Durov said in April some governments had sought to pressure him, but the app should remain a neutral platform and not a player in geopolitics. And that's it on Biscon Television Foreign News. Compiled and produced by David Asha. I'm Stella Opara. Thank you for watching.
Hello and welcome to Biscon Television. Today I will be bringing you the business analysis. So let's dive in to the business news making waves today. And it's a big one. Johan Rupert, the South African billionaire, has once again snatched the title of Africa's richest man from Nigeria's very own Aliko Dangote. Rupert who chairs the global luxury goods conglomerate Richemont, now boasts a net worth of $14.3 billion. Tough macroeconomic climate and the depreciation of the naira. Dangote's conglomerate, the Dangote Group, has been feeling the heat as the naira lost over 43% of its value this year. The depreciation driven by policies like President Bola Tinubu's removal of fuel subsidies has eroded Dangote's wealth, which is heavily tied to naira-denominated assets. It's not the first time Rupert has overtaken Dangote, but the real question is, Can Dangote bounce back again? He's aiming to shift 90% of his revenue to foreign exchange earnings by 2025, which might be key to weathering the economic storm in Nigeria. It's a tussle worth watching closely. Moving on to the manufacturing sector. It seems businesses are gasping for air under the weight of sky-high interest rates. Chief Bioku Raman, outgoing chairman of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria MAN in Kwara and Kogi, didn't mince word at their annual general meeting. He called on the federal government to slash interest rates on industrial loans to just 1%. He wasn't just asking the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, to lower rates. He also urged commercial banks to follow suit and for the CBN to relax foreign exchange policies for local manufacturers. It's a clear cry for help from an industry struggling to stay afloat. Now let's talk about the backbone of Nigeria's economy: micro, small and medium enterprises, MSMEs. Vice President Shetima highlighted that MSMEs account for a staggering 96% of businesses in Nigeria and 45% of the nation's while commissioning the Benway Fashion Hub and Printing House. The VP stressed that without MSMEs, 80% of Nigerians would be jobless. This is why initiatives like the Benway it into thriving. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos is rolling out the red carpet for businesses. At the 2024 International Business Conference and Expo, he pledged more incentives for investors, including tax breaks, waivers, and streamlined regulatory processes. He also handed out 10 million naira to support youth-led businesses during the International Youth Day Parade, further proving his commitment to youth empowerment and creating a business-friendly environment in Lagos. It's clear that Lagos is positioning itself as the go-to destination for both local and foreign investors. And that's all for the business analysis today. Stay tuned for more insights and updates. I'm your host, Favor Jagbe. afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to Vibe Out this afternoon, and I remain your host, Oreoluwa Olatiboye Glory, aka Glory. And I have a very interesting somebody here with me. I have a very important guest, and I don't want to do the introduction for him. Let him do the introduction himself.
Okay, my name is David Finfolua Asha, and I'm honored to be a part of your show today. Thank you for inviting me. Yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Anyways, guys, so you may be wondering why am I bringing a guest or something? It's definitely because of a very interesting topic that's going on right now. Like I said I'll be bringing interesting topic. So today we're going to be talking about the recent policy. I'm not going to go, it's not yet a rule, because it says our time, once you are done with school like this, our parents just want us to enter school and those do everything back. But now we've heard that they said 2025 we're not going to be writing a WAEC. You won't have the opportunity to write WAEC and ECHO. And please don't get me wrong, it is not yet a rule yet. Yes, so they're still deliberating on it. So we brought our guests. Be something that have a good impact in our society.
Okay, thank you very much once again for
You're welcome.
having me on the show. And it has more cons than pros. By that I mean it has more disadvantages than advantages. Because what it implies is that if you are not 18, you can't write why.
You can learn work after school. So what do you think about that? They can actually use that period to learn and work.
Okay, I'm not disputing the fact that they can't use that period to learn and work, but then during that process the passion to study might actually die, because they could see it as their source of income in the next future. And
It's true.
no matter where you are, education would give you more opportunity than an uneducated person. If you're an educated person, you'll be able to do your business better than an uneducated person. So you need education. The popular saying that says education is a scam, it is
I'm
not.
against that.
It has its role that it plays. The passion to study, to get a BSc, ND or HND might actually die during the process of waiting, because the individual could get there. I'd imagine after you're about
But we hope that everything is going to work perfectly for the good of our dearest country, Nigeria.
because
So
even ASU, SANO and
ASU strike.
Nigeria Union of Teachers, they've kicked against it.
Yeah.
They said the policy shouldn't stand. Hopefully the education minister will consider their opinions on
Yeah,
it.
so
Even the former PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar has kicked against it, that it shouldn't stand. Education would reduce drastically. Like, so
Anyways, hopefully everything is gonna work for our good and our country's good.
yeah.
So, anyways, my dear listener and viewer, I hope you enjoyed this little conversation concerning this policy, and that's what we have for you today concerning today's show, Vibe Out. So stay tuned, because we will be right back. Maybe not today, maybe tomorrow, but we'll be right back.
fashion and style, entertainment and lifestyle programs, Biscon movies and more has been moved to channel 144 on Go TV. Our programs begin daily with Biscon Breakfast Bubble (BBB), featuring newspaper review and interviews on trending issues. Biscon Roundtable is our daily discussion program on essential tips on life and living. Biscon TV broadcasts news 7 times daily from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Biscon TV can be watched in all parts of the country now on Go TV channel 144 and live streaming on Biscon TV on YouTube. Biscon TV live streaming on YouTube is the fastest growing, most watched 24-hour live streaming channel on YouTube. Remember, Biscon TV has been moved from channel 108 to channel 144 on Go TV. Biscon TV. Interactive, engaging, and unconventional.
You're on to the News Hour on Biscon Television. I'm Stella Opara. Thank you for joining us again. First, the headlines. On the national scene, President Tinubu jets out to China on official visit. Federal government gives 1-month moratorium to traders to crush high cost of foodstuff. In business news, currency outside banks drops to 3.66 trillion naira, CBN report shows. On the foreign scene, VP Kamala Harris widens lead over Trump. Reuters Ipsos poll finds. And in the weather sport, Nigeria goalkeeper Nwabali signs contract extension at Chipper United, named new captain. Now the news in full. President Bola Tinubu has departed Abuja for a working visit to China. In a statement by the special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Ajuri Ngelale, the president would have a stopover at the United Arab Emirates. According to the statement, President Bola Tinubu will depart Abuja for Beijing, China on Thursday, August 29, on an official visit. President Tinubu will have a brief layover in the United Arab Emirates. In China, the president will meet with President Xi Jinping and will hold meetings with Chinese business leaders on the sidelines of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation. Accompanying the president on the Chinese trip are senior government officials. Tinubu's trade Chinese firm, Zhongshan Foshan Industrial Investment Company Limited. Now, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, have given 1-month moratorium to crash the prices of goods. The newly appointed Executive Vice Chairman of the FCCPC, Tunji Bello, made this known at a one-day stakeholders engagement on exploitative pricing in Abuja. He said the stakeholders meeting was to address the growing trend of unreasonable pricing of consumer goods and services and the unwholesome practice of market associations. Some of the market stakeholders who spoke at the engagement said the high cost of transportation, insecurity, multiple taxation, among others, were reasons for the continued and imported goods at the ports also contributed to the hike in prices. In another story, former head of state Abdulsalam Abubakar has urged stakeholders to address the barriers and biases limiting women's participation in the military. Abubakar made this statement at the 2024 Annual Defense Headquarters Gender Conference in Abuja. The theme of the conference was Mainstreaming Women, Peace and Security Agenda for Enhanced Operational Efficiency in the Armed Forces of Nigeria. He said the theme was a call to action and a recognition in July, about 3.32% lower than it was in the previous month. This was disclosed in money and credit data available on the website of the Central Bank of Nigeria. This showed that the amount outside banks dropped to 90.39% from 93.59% of the currency in circulation recorded in June 2024. The value of currency in circulation rose in July to 4.05 trillion naira from 4.04 trillion naira. From the beginning of the year, the amount of money in circulation rose by 11.05% in 2023. Members of the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria have blamed the excess cash in circulation for the accelerating inflation in the country. You're watching Biscon TV News. Politics news comes up next.
This is Biscon Politics. As the state governorship election draws near, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) is ramping up efforts to ensure a seamless, credible electoral process. However, during a meeting with political party leaders on Thursday, INEC Chairman Professor Mahmood Yakubu expressed strong dissatisfaction with the conduct of some political parties, particularly regarding their compliance with the Commission's digital platform for nominating polling and coalition agents. Professor Yakubu did not mince words as he voiced concerns over the quality of submissions from some parties, highlighting the inadequacy of the uploading images of polling units and coalition agents. He cautioned that the integrity of the election process is paramount and that political parties must adhere to the standards set by INEC to ensure transparency. Moving on, the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress (APC), Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, has accused the Enugu State Independent Electoral Commission (NSEC) of undermining the party in Enugu State. The APC national chairman reiterated that Barrister Ugochukwu Agbala remains the chairman of the APC in Enugu State and should serve as the bridge between the party and NSEC. Ganduje threatened to file a suit against the commission if it continued to deal with faceless persons unknown to the party with regard to the forthcoming local government poll in the
Welcome back. Now to foreign news. Democrat Kamala Harris leads Republican Donald Trump 45% to 41% in a Reuters and Ipsos poll published on Thursday that showed the vice president sparking new enthusiasm among voters and shaking up the race ahead of the November 5 election. The 4 percentage point advantage among registered voters was wider than a 1-point lead Harris held over the former president in a late July Reuters and Ipsos poll. To 7 points in the latest survey, down from 14 points in July. You're watching Biscon TV News. The news continues shortly.
Hello and welcome to Sports News. Tino Anjorin has completed a permanent transfer to Serie A side Empoli, according to a post on Chelsea Football Club's website on Thursday. Anjorin, who first trained with Chelsea at the age of 6, officially signed as an under-9 and progressed through the academy at Cobham. Tino signed his first professional contract in November 2018 and moved up to the under-21 squad ahead of the 2019-20 season. It was an impressive campaign for the midfielder as he was handed his senior debut against Grimsby Town, made his Premier League debut against Everton and helped the under-21 LC win Premier League 2. Now, South African Premier Soccer League club Chippa United on Thursday announced goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali has signed a contract extension. Nwabali, according to the Chile boys, put pen to paper on a 3-year contract. Chippa United also announced that the shortstopper will be their new captain. The goaltender joined Chippa United from Nigeria Premier Football League side Katsina United in 2022. The 28-year-old quickly established himself as the club's first-choice goalkeeper. Nwabali caught the eye with his impressive performance for the Nigeria at the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire. And that's it for Sport News.
Hello and welcome to Biscon Television News. Here's the entertainment news. Controversial singer Demi Crane has been released from police custody following his arrest for alleged defamation against Davido. Crane had previously claimed that Davido was aware of the circumstances surrounding the death of Tagbo, a former assistant of the DMW boss. The arrest came as a result of these allegations. Social media activist Very Dark Man played a crucial role in Crane's release by making a public appeal to Davido, urging him not to use his influence to keep Crane detained. Shortly after his release, a video surfaced online showing Demi Crane offering a sincere apology to Davido. In the video, Crane asked for forgiveness for his accusations regarding Tagbo's death and expressed gratitude to Very Dark Man for his sophisticated attire has earned them widespread praise from fans and colleagues, with many commending their stunning appearance and expressing excitement for the upcoming nuptials. Veteran actor Chiwetalu Agro has taken to
Welcome back to Biscon TV News. Now to the high points of the news again. On the national scene, President Tinubu jets out to China on official visit. Federal government gives 1-month moratorium to traders to crush high cost of foodstuff. In business news, currency outside banks drops to 3.66 trillion naira. CBN report shows.
Well, I'd like to welcome you to this very special event. It's more than an interview, it's an event. Juggernaut, an icon, one of those who actually helped to build what we now know as the Nigerian film industry.
Film industry, called the Nigerian film industry as it was and should still be called, but then it was purely a cinematic platform of movie making, not just when I say it was a cinematic industry, a film actress with the executive producer was the producer and executive producer was Francois Balogun, and that was the production that introduced me to Tunde Kelani, because he was the second unit camera person. Power actually gave me my first award as an actress. Money Power was produced in 1982. I was 17 years old, and it was entered for the African Films Festival for the decade of 1974 to 1984, and to my greatest surprise, as as this young teenager, I won the best actress. That was a film festival competition that had entries like Yabadu's Bayo Duneye, Professor Wole Soyinka. So my mother was Professor Wole Soyinka, coming from Abeokuta, like my mom, was gave my mom some kind of like, okay, yeah, I know who this is, so but it wasn't it wasn't an easy pill for her to swallow, because her intention was for me to become a lawyer, not to become an actor. Yeah.
Now you want to take us back to your